Welcome to RG Road Test Route Guide for Port Union, Route 1.
In this video, we'll take you through the key points of this test route. Although remember, there's no guarantee that this will be the exact route you'll encounter on your test day. However, with proper practice and preparation, you'll be ready to tackle any road they bring you on. Route 1 is one of the commonly used road test routes. Let's break it down step by step.
First, once you arrive, you want to park in the back of the building. Once you get here, you can position yourself closer to the right. This is not a one-way street anymore. Careful not to roll over the parking spots on the far right. Make sure you're 1 meter away when passing by parked vehicles. Stay closer to the right. At this point, you will be asked to switch lane to the left and go back to the right lane when it's safe. Peek over to the left and right, just to make sure all vehicles has stopped. You will then be asked to turn right on the upcoming traffic light. Pay very close attention to this intersection. It's a busy intersection. It is important that you check your right blind spot here. There are a lot of cyclists on this road. They will direct you to enter the 401 West. It is located just past the traffic light, on the right. And here you will notice a yield sign. Be proactive and check for any vehicles that could possibly enter from the other side. And since the yield sign is facing you, you have to give way to any approaching vehicles. Don't forget to check for pedestrians. Once you've made sure that it is clear, pick up the speed. Try to aim for 80 to 90. And as I mentioned before, it is a good habit to being proactive. From this position, get a feel of what the situation is going to be once you're eligible to switch lane. See if there's any car, trucks that's going to be driving beside you, etc. If you find a noticeably slow vehicle, speed up and aim for 100 kilometers per hour. You should be able to pass them safely. Ensure you have 2 to 3 car distance in front of you and behind you. If you find a noticeably fast vehicle, try to maintain a slower pace around 80 to 90 zone. Then let them pass you until 2 to 3 car distance space. Then bring your speed back to 100 kilometers per hour and join in safely. The examiner will ask you to switch lane to the left and go back to the right lane when it's safe. They will tell you to exit on Morningside. Most examiners will tell you not to switch lane to exit on Morningside. You will be using the lane you are already on to exit the ramp. This lane will bring you on the perfect position for the next step. Otherwise, switch lane to the right and wait for further instruction. If they instruct you to stay put on your lane, make sure you signal to the right to show your intention that you want to exit. Assuming that there is no traffic in front of you, it is important that you do not decrease your speed below 98 while exiting. You can only start decreasing your speed once you pass this road marking. Same goes for your signal. If you have it on, you can turn it off once you pass that road marking. Pay close attention. As I mentioned earlier, this lane will set you up perfectly for the next instruction, which is to turn left on the traffic light, then once completed join back into the highway on the right. You will be asked to turn left on this light. Also, this traffic light will give you an advance protected left turn. Still try to pay attention and check to make sure. This is a common mistake for beginners. Make sure you pay attention to which lane you're coming from and turning into. Do not go into someone else's lane. They will then ask you to go back on 401 East. The entrance is on the right. Switch lane to the right, twice. Even with these lane changes, you still want to perform a blind spot check, twice, one for each lane change. Yellow speed limits are just suggested speeds. White and black speed limits are regulatory signs. In this case, you will encounter an advisory, suggested speed limit. You can go 30 to 40 kilometers per hour. Remember, the faster you go, the more difficult it is to control the vehicle. Go with whatever you're comfortable with, while keeping in mind that you cannot go too slow or too fast. Start picking up the speed and try to get a feel of how the scenario will play out by checking the lane to your left. See if anyone is on that lane. Are you going to let them pass? Or are they slow enough that you can pass them safely? This student either did not check the blind spot or did not observe the speed of the other car properly. There was a small window of opportunity where the student should have sped up and entered safely. Rather, the student waited until the car behind is speeding up and the student had no choice but to join in at the end of the merging lane. The examiner will ask you again to switch lane to the left and back to the right when it's safe. The examiner will tell you to exit at Port Union, switch lane to the right. Remember not to slow down until you pass the diversion. It is important to point out, this is what you want to do on the test. The student checked the rearview mirror and blind spot, then noticed a truck going at a much higher speed than the student. The student stayed in the lane and let the truck pass by, and waited until there was 2 to 3 car distance at the front. Keep in mind, an examiner can fail you for an unsafe lane change. Once instructed to turn left on the traffic light, this gives you permission to switch lane to the left if you wanted to. But if it wasn't safe to switch lane, you're more than welcome to stay on the lane you're on and use it to turn left. Most examiner will tell you not to switch lane to the right because they want you to turn left on the upcoming traffic light. If the examiner did not mention anything, make sure to do what you're supposed to, which is to automatically switch lane to the right and wait for further instructions. Now, if the examiner tells you to turn left on the first traffic light, make sure you enter the correct left turn lane. Do not turn into the left turn lane for the 401 on-ramp. Go into the left turn lane at the traffic lights. Straddling the lanes will deduct points on your grade. Make sure you're always within your lane. The student is committing a rolling stop. An examiner will fail you for doing this. The vehicle has to come to a complete stop for 2 to 3 seconds while you're doing a traffic check. On this intersection, you will be asked to turn left. You always have the right of way. Both vehicles going out have a stop sign and you, as the person going into the plaza, do not have a stop sign. You are only required to stop here if you are giving way to a pedestrian or to avoid a collision. As shown on the signs, this is a one-way road. Stay closer to the left. Then they will make you front park on one of these spots to end the road test.
And that concludes our guide to Route 1. Remember, while this route is commonly used, it's crucial to practice various driving scenarios to prepare for anything on test day. If you found this road test route guide helpful, be sure to subscribe to our channel. By subscribing, you'll stay updated on all our latest videos, including additional route guides and valuable driving tips. Don't miss out on the opportunity to enhance your driving skills and ace your road test. Hit that subscribe button now, and let's embark on this journey together. Good luck and safe driving.